Okay.
Are you ready?
Born ready.
Okay. Hey guys, we definitely forgot to record the intro to this video, so hello from the future us. I'm Jonna.
I'm Ethan.
And welcome back to another episode of...
Yeah, but you were thinking it.
Oh my god, Brittany! Well, you were thinking it. Yeah, well, you said it.
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Today's topic is fat kids.
Or for those of you who are easily offended, childhood obesity.
Or fat kids. So, we both have a problem with fat kids.
Coming from a former fat kid, I feel like I have a lot of room to talk about this. So for those of you who are going to come for us in the comment section, do your worst. Because I've been a fat kid. Some days I'm still fat.
And most days I'm still fat. Can we both agree that we're not particularly angry at fat children?
Absolutely not.
Although, I will say, when I see a fat kid, it makes me enraged.
Yeah, but not at the kid.
But not at the kid. For a long time, I couldn't separate that. For a long time, I saw a fat kid and was just angry, and so I was mad at that kid, and I felt some kind of way. Not that I'm gonna walk up to a fat toddler and kick him down, but I felt it in my bones that I was like, fuck you. I hated it. But now it's parents.
That's the source.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of parents out there who are gonna say, probably in the comment section, my kid is obese. Well, technically the doctor says my kid is obese, but it's a medical condition or this, that, or the other thing. And I mean, okay, I'm sure some of you have medical conditions, your children have medical conditions, but this is my own personal survey from what I have gathered from, living. Majority of the time when I see a fat kid, their parents are fat.
True story. Not a whole lot of stick figure adults with plump kids.
Yeah. And so when you say, oh, my kid has a medical condition, I want to see you and see if you are fat or overweight or whatever term you want to use to make yourself feel better.
Horizontally challenged.
And then tell me that your child has a...
Yeah.
And listen, I struggle with my weight. I'm going to put that out there. I try to watch what I eat. I work out a lot, even though I hate it. It's not and I'm not some rail thin person. So, but my mom used to take me through McDonald's drive-through. I mean, when I was about 8 years old, for a good 6 months, I think we ate at Hardee's 3 times a week. I mean,
I love Hardee's.
It's not, there's no medical condition. I just had a poor diet. My mom sat me in front of the TV a lot. I was lazy. I wasn't in any sports. You know what I mean? It was all, and love you, mommy, but it comes from that. It has to do with parenting. Most things in your child's life have to do with parenting and, eating habits and, their weight it falls into that. I mean, I don't care who you are. It's just that's just the way it is.
Well, and when you become a parent and take obesity and eating out of it for a second, when you become a parent, all of your habits will, besides perhaps smoking and drinking, because one would assume you're not going to let your toddler smoke and drink, but all of your habits become your children's habits. If you eat a certain way, they're going to eat the same way. Odds are. I'm sure there are parents out there who are like, yeah, I'm fat. I don't want my kid to be fat, so I'm going to feed them vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Probably few and far between. And on top of that, I mean, if you are constantly eating dog shit, which, by the way, not opposed.
I mean, we let our daughter have sweets and fast food. I mean, she's not on some crazy strict regimen or anything like that. But I mean, we are also very cautious when it comes to letting, we don't let her eat when she's not hungry. We are working as her parents to help her form healthy food habits because we struggle with
Absolutely.
food habits. we love food. So when we're eating something really good, like loaded fries or loaded tater tots, and we're both full, we'll be like, it's worth it. And we'll just keep eating. Whereas like we're really doing we're trying really hard to make sure that our daughter
Right.
doesn't have that. So like, even if she's eating something super delicious that she loves, she says, my stomach is saying I'm full, now I'm done.
And for the most part, she can do that. Sometimes with certain sweets, she will eat until she throws up. But that hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think there are different things with your kids that maybe just let them learn the hard way. Maybe if I let you eat all that popcorn at the drive-in, and then I let you eat a whole bag of candy and then have some of mine, maybe you puking on the grass might help you figure out.
Probably not though, because think about how many times we've been there and we still do it again and again and again. We just like, it's kind of like when you get really drunk and then like the next 3 days.
I'm never gonna drink again.
Yeah, I'm never gonna drink again. And then
the
like,
weekend shows up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't really think that.
Don't get me wrong. I don't subscribe to the notion that you should just let kids do whatever they want. Be like, they'll learn a lesson. Maybe they won't. Probably they won't.
Right.
But I think, again, one, with her and her stuff and her food, it's about moderation. And two, how many times has she thrown up from eating too much? I can probably,
Yeah, I don't.
you know what I
Maybe
mean?
once.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And that drive-in thing,
Yeah,
that's very
yeah.
specific because that
Right.
did happen at the drive-in. And I remember being like, I was like, you all right? And she was like, yeah.
But we have got to stop with the constant, like, it's a medical condition or it's anxiety or it's this or it's that. Because, like, food for me it's like a drug. Like, I am an emotional eater. I'm a binge eater. So I use food to cope, like, especially when I'm upset about something. I'm always like, F it. I'm just going to eat and that'll make me feel better. And, like, it kind of makes me feel better in the moment.
Yeah, not kind of. In the moment. That shit
but
is
then like you're full and then now you've got two problems. One, you feel like shit, and two, you still have the problem you had before you started eating.
That is true, but and I gotta say though, like in defense of food, if I'm having a shitty day and I go get some McDonald's, yeah.
Unless the McDonald's is shit that day, because you know McDonald's is hit or miss nowadays.
That is
so
true.
like if the fries are shitty and like the meat is dry on the burger, then it's like your day is even more ruined. You're like,
yeah, that is definitely insult to injury. But in the moment, if I eat some really good, really bad for me food, immediately I feel better. Again, it's not long lasting. It's oftentimes makes things worse later. But in that moment, oh yeah.
yeah,
You serious?
yeah. I know, like it sucks
Eating
because
a large
we live.
pizza to the face when I'm feeling down. Yeah, I might have a stomachache
I
later,
know,
but
it's
it
so
was
hard to be healthy and like stay slim when pizza's in the world.
Yeah, for real. But again, like you were saying though, parents who are always talking about, they've got a condition, it's their thyroid, whatever. If that's the case for your kid, my heart goes out to you, because it must be terrible having to be a parent to a child with medical issues, any medical issues.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, not everything's a medical issue. And if you are eating like shit all the time and your kid is eating what you're eating, your kid should not look like a bowling ball by the age of 3. They just shouldn't. And if they do, it's your fault. And it's no one else's fault.
Another excuse I hear a lot is we're just so busy. We're so busy all the time with sports and work and all this stuff. I get that, but like there's just way too many options now that make it easy to eat healthy. And also another one is like healthy food is expensive. Well, another thing is like you don't have to eat as much. Like even if you're eating unhealthy stuff, just eat less of it. So you can still eat it, but like just eat less. But I don't really subscribe. Like I get it, I do, because there has been times when it's just easier to go through the drive-thru.
For sure.
I totally get that. But
if you're going through the drive-thru 3 or more times a week,
you're just not even trying. I feel like
yeah.
you're really just not like that. Now it's just you're lazy. I get it. You're tired from work. I get that, but it adds up.
And if you if you know you're super busy, like, it's not like your kid has a surprise soccer game. You know what I mean? Like, if you know your kid's schedule, you know your schedule, you know you're going to be busy, plan ahead.
Yeah, crock pots exist, air fryers exist, sandwiches exist.
But I will say, though, in terms of healthy food being more expensive, it is more expensive. Like, there are food deserts in America where it is almost impossible for certain people in certain areas to eat a healthy meal because they get their groceries from a bodega or they get their groceries from Dollar General.
Right.
Where, like, and even there, I'm sure you could, pick up a thing of Planters nuts or something, but most of the food in there is, garbage. So on one hand, I do see where that's a huge issue.
I sympathize for those who do that.
If you don't live in a food desert, if you don't know what a food desert is, fucking
Google it.
Do your Googles. Get your life together. But if you live in a food desert, I have no answers. Let's just get real. I have no fucking answers for you at all. But if you don't live in a food desert, get your shit together. Go get a bag of baby carrots from
I don't know.
supermarket.
Listen.
Get something.
Over the holidays, when everybody else was out of everything, Dollar General was the only one who had cream cheese. So
that's
I'm
true.
saying, like, I know that they have some healthy food in there. Eggs are healthy.
You said that like cream cheese is super healthy for you.
I mean,
I'm on the all cream cheese diet.
I'm just saying, like, they have more stuff than, they do have healthy alternatives in there.
Yeah,
I know it's easier to pick the unhealthy stuff. It tastes better.
Every time
it's easier to get to. You don't have to usually like do anything to it. Just or maybe pop it in the microwave. I mean, shit, I love me a good Hot Pocket, and was that 2 minutes? And then you eat like a bag of Doritos while you're waiting for it. I mean, real. I get it, but also like go outside a little bit, like walk around your apartment complex, your neighborhood, wherever you live. Walk down the road.
And I think that leads to like kind of the second half of this. But before we get to the second half, which is exercise, not just what you're eating, but exercise. But I just want to like put out into the universe that we are saying like eat healthier. You should eat healthier. It's good for you.
By no means, we are not. Clearly, we are not health experts.
No.
Or like health nuts or anything like that.
Anything experts. I'm not an expert in anything.
We're average human beings.
It's true. Maybe a little above average. We're pretty sweet. But I do want to say, though, that it is very true that bad food tastes better than good food. And anyone, even though I'm advocating for eating healthier, any person anywhere who's like, well, a great alternative to fill in the blank of something delicious is fill in the blank with something not delicious.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Fuck you. And your mom. I hate you.
Zucchini is not better than freaking pasta noodles. And cauliflower is not better than potatoes. It's just not.
No, it's not.
And if you say that it is, you're a liar.
True story. And you're not welcome here. By here, I mean.
But also, please keep watching.
Yeah, you're not welcome here, but you are welcome on the channel. Subscribe.
Go ahead and comment something nasty.
Yeah,
and
be mean.
Tell us how much better cauliflower is than potatoes. I'll wait. Give me a good recipe.
Yeah,
I'm always looking for a good recipe. Says the person who makes cauliflower mash all the time because I gotta keep that balance between obese and average. Obese and average. And like, listen, I love food. So I totally sympathize with those of you who are like, it's just so hard to eat healthy.
Yeah.
I get it.
100%.
I totally get it.
Yeah. At no point in time should you be like, these two preaching ass people tell us how we need to eat healthy. Listen, a lot we don't eat healthy.
A lot. It's usually on the weekends, but still.
And when we eat unhealthy, we eat like campground raccoons. So we have a thing called the Voldemort. This should never be spoken where we'll just hop around to a bunch of fast food restaurants and get all the stuff we love from them and then bring them home.
But also, meanwhile, eating said food in. So, like, we'll go to Taco Bell first, and then we'll go to Wendy's. And while we're in the line at Wendy's, we'll eat the Taco Bell.
Getting our Crunchwrap Supreme
I know,
on.
like, we're sending mixed messages right now. I get it. But ultimately, don't let your kids be fat because it sucks. I mean, it wasn't until I was 17 years old. I got up to 199 pounds my senior year of high school. I remember stepping on the scale and I saw that and I thought to myself, you have failed at life if you let the scale hit 200. Obviously, if you're over 200 pounds, you're not a failure at life. And it's just like, I remember the fear that came over me. And it was like then and there that I didn't even go on a diet. I just stopped eating as much and I started exercising.
And you stopped drinking soda.
I did. I cut out soda. No, that's not true. I started drinking only diet soda. Literally, my lunch, I would go to school and my lunch would be Diet Pepsi and a small bag of Doritos. That was my lunch. And it was literally, I didn't stop eating anything. I just started eating a lot less of it. And then I would come home. I didn't go to the gym. I would come home and I had a mix CD. If that doesn't age me. Mix CD it up. And it had like all these different songs on it. And I would just like, because nobody else was home. So I'd go into the living room and I would just dance. I'd just like make up dances and jump around and like pretend I was in concert. And so I was born to entertain. And then I would do like, we had this like 10-minute Pilates video. And I would pop that in and I would do that. And then I lost a significant amount of weight. I went from 199 to like 170 my senior year.
Wow.
And then when I wanted to join the Navy, I had to lose more weight. So that one I really restricted myself. But it wasn't until I was in the Navy, in Whidbey Island, where we met, that I stopped drinking pop. That was when I stopped drinking pop and I stopped eating fast food altogether.
Which is my kryptonite. Fast food kind of, but more so soda. She calls it pop. She's a fucking loser. But soda for me, I say this all the time to friends of mine. When I drive past a 7-Eleven, I feel the same way, at least I believe, that an alcoholic feels when they drive past a liquor store. Like I'll drive past a 7-Eleven and be like, oh, there's so much Code Red in there.
After you go a while without it, though, it really you kind of crave it every once in a while, but it really doesn't appeal to you that much anymore. And then when you do have it, you can have like a drink of it, and then that's it, because it's like the bubbles, the carbonation, it doesn't feel good in your mouth, and it doesn't sit well in your stomach. So it really is like, as far as drinking soda or pop goes, it really is a weaning yourself off of it, and the longer you go without it, the more you don't want it. And then once you hit that turning point, you have it again, and then it just doesn't satisfy you.
See, I think the longest I've gone without soda is probably like 30-35 days. And when I was not drinking it, I wasn't thinking to myself, oh, I want soda. But it wasn't readily accessible to me. Like I couldn't just go and get one. Mm-hmm. So in that time, I didn't really think about it, but then once I could get it, I was like, oh yeah. Like I didn't know if I wanted to drink it or just like pour it in my face. Like it was so good. And I've been doing fairly well recently, not drinking a whole lot of it, and I rarely bring it home. And if I do, I'll bring like a bottle or maybe 2 like 20-ounce bottles of it home, not like a case of it.
Right.
So if I bring a case of it home, I'll just drink it the whole thing in a weekend. Mm-hmm. But yeah, soda fucks me up. So I feel like I said this like 10 minutes ago. I think the second half of this that we should talk about mm-hmm. is not just what we're eating and putting into our body, but what we're actually doing with our bodies when we're not eating, which is not a lot of the time. But like you were talking about, you would just make up dances and dance around mm-hmm. and then do a 10-minute Pilates video. Mm-hmm. You really don't have to do a lot of shit I don't even want to say to lose weight. Forget losing weight necessarily, but to keep yourself healthy. Yeah. To keep your heart healthy.
Because you don't have to be skinny to be healthy. I know a lot of skinny people who are not healthy. But what bothers me is when skinny people who like eat like crap and don't take care of themselves, and then like you both have to go run a mile, and somehow they can just like run that mile and they're not even out of breath. Meanwhile, you've been freaking exercising for 3 months, running your little heart out, and you're still wanting to die at the end of that run.
Yeah, but little people like that have.
They just don't. They don't have nothing to throw around.
Right. They're not lifting any weights. That's why, like, you can see, depending on the size in terms of length of the person, but you can see skinny people crank out a bunch of push-ups because they're not lifting any weight up.
Exactly. Which is, I mean, that's a whole other subject. I mean, to those people who are naturally skinny, I mean, how does it feel to be God's favorite? But yeah, like as far as exercise goes,
take your kids outside.
You don't have to like do shit or crap or whatever. I don't know if YouTube's gonna hate that or whatever, but you don't have to do stuff that that sucks. Like do stuff that's fun, especially nowadays with YouTube and TikTok and stuff. I mean, dancing is such a good exercise, and it doesn't even half the time it doesn't even feel like you're actually exercising. So, I mean, I feel like dancing's a great one. Walking is literally the best exercise you can do.
True story.
But I know, like, for me, I hate the winter. I despise, loathe entirely being cold. So if it's cold outside, I'm not going outside. Like, I'm not going to walk. Just, you can forget that. But I'll put on a Chloe Ting video or anything on YouTube.
Shout out Chloe Ting.
Yeah. Anything on YouTube, just a video, and I hate my life the whole way through, but I feel so much better afterwards. I mean, I go to the gym and I lift and stuff like that, but I mean, kids are obviously not going to go to the gym and lift weights, but they can walk and they can dance. Have a dance party with them. It's not only good exercise, but it's good bonding time with them.
Remember we had a dance party and I scared the shit out of Liv. A booty bumped her onto the couch and she did not expect it at all. And she was terrified and she wept. It was amazing. Sometimes you gotta make a kid cry. You know what I mean?
It's true. It builds character.
Yeah.
Anyways, this video has gone on long enough, but all that to say, stop making excuses for your kids being fat.
Yep.
Not everything is an excuse. Feed them better and give them exercise. We'll see you next time.